As many of y'all know, I work art markets for most of my income, and a lot of that is due to this little mini lathe. I'm turning tops and toys for kids all day long. That attracts the kids in, which drag their parents in. The parents browse around my booth while I'm entertaining their kids, and a lot of times that's how I make my sale. If you can't get people to stop at your booth, they're not going to buy anything. So this is a great loss leader for me because I don't make that much money on the tops, but people buy stuff, and it's at least a way for me to cover my booth fee every single time. The problem is that this requires electricity, and I have a very nice Honda EU 2000 generator, really quiet, really clean. It's one of the best ones on the market. Despite that, a lot of markets will not let you use a generator. Or if they see that I'm bringing in a generator, they tell me I can't set up, and there's a lot of places I can't get into. So I'm denied a lot of opportunities because I have to use a generator. Some places will provide power for you for an extra 15, 20 bucks, but I've always found it incredibly unreliable because you get a bunch of people on one 15 amp circuit. Everyone's running fans in summer and stuff like that, and this blows it out. Everybody hates you. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to have your own power source. Now, I was working with Dewalt on some other project that we'll be doing in 2020, and as I was browsing their inventory, I saw this item, and they advertise it as a kind of a power station, a generator. It's 1800 watts, which my EU 2000 generator was 2000 watts, and it has a peak of about 36, so that when you turn your motor on, if it spikes above that 1800 watts, it's okay for a little while. And it has battery packs, so you can swap out the battery sources. But you get big enough batteries, it can get pricey enough that you're kind of competing with that generator. So this was a lot of money, so I kind of asked them if they could lend me to try this out to see if it would work, because it could be a game changer for art market people, not only people like me doing lathes, but other things, fans, lights, all that kind of stuff. So what I have right here is their power station, and I have four 9 amp hour 2060 volt batteries. They're flex volt, and I do know it will work. I charge these overnight, but I don't know how long they will work. Now, tomorrow's market that I'm working opens at 9 o'clock and goes to about 4 o'clock, which some of them go to 5 or 6. So that's 8 to 10 hours. So I want to see if I can use this for 8 to 10 hours. And before I just leave my generator at home, I want to try this out. So I've got them all in there. They are all fully charged. So I'm going to plug it in, turn it on for the power output. It can't do input output at the same time. It's either out or in. So I turn my lathe on, turn up the speed to its max. It is now 11:10, and we're going to see how long this puppy runs. Okay, it is now 12:40, so a little bit over an hour, and they wear these batteries down evenly. So I'm going to check it, and it looks like all of them still have the 3 bars on it, which is pretty good. I was expecting it to go down a little bit by now. One key thing that you have to understand, though, is this kind of setup, it doesn't make a true sine wave for the electricity. It makes what they call modified sine wave. Or if you think about those old little machines that measured electricity, the sine wave is very even, where this one's kind of digitized. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Which, for powering simple machines like drills and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine. I would be leery of powering smart devices. Even a lot of our appliances in our houses nowadays are smart. Electricities with those screens on them. For some reason, refrigerators, they don't like modified sine wave. I would not be recharging my phone, or if I was working in my art booth, running like a cash register stuff off of this. Though these batteries, from what I understand, Dewalt does have a little slide-on USB charger, which would be perfect for that one, because if it's a USB charger, it's probably, I'd verify it, but it's got to be a normal sine wave. My generator, the reason why it was so expensive is it does produce a clean electrical wave, so it's good for electronics. But my lathe is a dumb motor. It is a one-phase induction motor, 3.2 amps on 60 hertz. So that'll give you a little specifics. So let's turn it back on and keep going. Okay, so it is now 3:15, so it's been running for 4 hours. All the batteries are now at 2 bars. Now, one thing about a modified sine wave is a lot of people think that it runs a lot less efficient, which I guess is true because you're not getting the smooth transition of power. But that should mean that the motors are running hot, and I'm going to put my hand right on the motor right now, which is a half horsepower. As I said, it's 3.2 amps, and it is definitely warm, but I'm not going to say it's warmer than normal. And some people told me to look out for a unusual sound at low speed. So I'm going to put it at its lowest speed now. I'm not hearing anything different. This motor's been, I guess it's 5 years old, and I've used it quite a bit. You can tell by the wear and tear on the lathe. So, it's normal. It might be a tad bit warmer than normal, but I can keep my hand on it for, half a minute or so. It's not burning itself or anything like that. It's just kind of hot. So, there you go. So, I guess turn it back up and let's see how much longer it goes. So, here we are. It is now 5:15, let's say 5:10. So we started at 11:10, so that's 6 straight hours. The lathe running wide full open. It is still going now. But I just now got the indicators that the batteries are telling me they're low. Each battery still has one light on it, and it's actually been running on one light for about an hour. But this machine says that whenever it starts to blink, yellow, and beep every 30 seconds, the batteries are getting close to empty. Now I'm going to keep letting it run until it just stops, just out of curiosity. But I have a feeling it's at this point in time that with me putting load on it every now and then, it would probably run out. And again, this is running wide flow open. When I'm doing a market, it's generally, a minute at this speed, and then I'll turn it down way low and let the kids color it and turn it off and on. So I'm not running wide full open, but that is 6 hours, and my biggest markets are 8 to 10 hours. So I think I'm going to go buy 4 small batteries just to keep as a backup, just in case. I do know that they are half price right now. Those little 3 amp hour batteries, and these are 9 amp hour batteries. So if I got another couple hours, that would be my 8 to 10 hour kind of goal that I'm looking for. So this will probably work out, but we won't know until it's in a live session. So after it runs out, I'll tell you tomorrow how long they lasted, and we will work through a real market to see if I can get through with one set of batteries without going to the backups. market opened at 9 and went to 4 o'clock. And as you could see that it wasn't, when you're at the market, you're not running it wide full open all the time like I did in my experiment. It's kind of on and off, high speed, low speed. You turn it off to talk to customers, low speed to color, that kind of stuff. You might have a fan going on to keep yourself cool during the summer, but it's not just a constant barrage of wide full open lathe operations. I was a bit stressed at the end of that little test because it seemed to me like I was going to be running out of power 3/4 of the way through. So last night I went to Home Depot because they had these on specials, and I bought 4 of these 3 amp batteries, which these are 9 amp, figuring that if it ran out in the last hour or so, I could pop those in and at least finish the market. Now, that was really stupid because even if it finished 2 hours beforehand, the $200 I spent on these batteries, I'm not turning $200 worth of tops in that last few minutes. So that was kind of a stupid decision in hindsight, but the package is already open. So, how much power did I actually use during that whole day? Well, let's take a look. This one still has 3 bars on it. This one has 2. This one has 2. This one has 2. So these 3 have 2 out of 3 bars, and this one still has 3 bars. And generally the power goes down evenly all the way across these. Example, whenever that they went dry, they all went dead at once. I have a feeling these are just so close to between 2 and 3 bars that this one just hasn't turned yet. That's how little power we used. I'm willing to bet I could have gotten away with the whole day on these smaller batteries. I'm going to test that out next weekend when I'm working at farmer's market, which is only 5 hours. But no power issues. The lathe didn't overheat or anything like that some people were warning me about. Everything worked just fine. It was just like the generator, only quieter. I didn't have to put gas in it, and I didn't have to lug that heavy thing around. Worked out really, really well. In fact, me and my dad were talking the entire market that, like I said at the beginning, I thought this could be a game changer for people in my situation. This really is. I'm now opened up to working indoor markets. I can be put in my booth. I can request closer to the front door because my generator won't be intimidating other people when they come in. I can be in the thick of it now, in placement to get a lot more traffic. For me, as a art person, this is a game changer, and I can see the same exact thing for all those people that have to use little hot plates or run lights at night or little mister fans or have little rotating displays. Anytime you need power, that where our market officials it's unreliable what they're giving us. This is a game changer for the art market, or just if you're out demonstrating. So much so that on my drive home today, I got a text from my dad saying, "What would you think about us selling our generator and buying another one of these?" Personally, I thought that was a bad idea because the generator we have does have a true analog sine wave. It's a smooth. It's not a modified sine wave. So it could be a backup to the house in case of emergencies. And I've been through a couple hurricanes and tropical storms where power's out for a couple of days. So that's a luxury I want to keep. It's nice having that as peace of mind for that. So I'm not undoing the generator, but for a lot of people, that is no longer a necessity to do what we do for a living. So thank you, Dewalt, for letting me try this out. I'll be calling you, so hopefully we can work out some kind of arrangement so I can keep this thing. Either way, this is going to be a major investment for my future working art markets. Big thumbs up. I do not do tool reviews on my channel. Dewalt did not ask me to do one or anything like that. I was just that impressed with this, how this worked out for me. So, y'all be safe, have fun, and remember, it's always worth the effort to learn, create, and share with others.